Practice number 3 this week, and very physical day. Very physical days, all 3 days. We've been in pads these 3 days, and we've gotten an awful lot of teamwork, a lot of good work against each other. I said I love the attitude of this team. I've been saying it before. I love being around them. They went out there. They have worked extremely hard this week. They've gotten after it. We've gotten a lot of good on good, and I think we've gotten better. We had about 30 live reps of PAT today. We've gotten about 75 reps, 25 with the 1s, 2s, and 3s each. Teamwork. We've got some 2-minute work. We've got some short yardage work, third down work. We've gotten a lot of things that we've looked at that we really felt like we needed to get better at. And I think one of the biggest things I think this week, the players made the most of this week, and I think they've gotten better. They've improved. And that's all we can do. It's what I've said from the beginning. We're work in progress. We just got to keep getting better. We just got to keep pushing forward. And really proud of the way they worked this week and the way they got after it. It was testy, emotional, hot at times. I mean, not temperature-wise, but emotion-wise. It was a good week. It was a very good week of practice. Proud of them.
They'll come back Sundays when they'll come back and
yeah, schedule-wise now, we'll get a lift in today, and then they'll be off Friday, Saturday. Then we'll come back Sunday, have a long mental day, and we'll get some weights in and Louisville in, and then we'll have Monday off, and then we're back to work on Tuesday out on the practice field.
Skip, I know you guys had wanted to get Clyde in, I guess 2 games ago, and obviously got hurt early on.
Yeah.
Is there a push now? Is kind of Bullock the next one in terms of the young linebackers you want to try and get in the field?
There's a couple of them. We have taken this week, we've graded every scrimmage rep we've had this week. Like I said, 75 plays a day, about 225 scrimmage reps we've had this week, these last 3 days. We've graded every play, and we've moved the depth chart accordingly. We're not going to reward talent, we're not going to reward experience, we're going to reward productivity and effort. And the guys that have been grading well, so the depth chart has bounced around an awful lot today to see what it would look like. I'm expecting Rashard Clyde to be back. He's in there lifting now, doing some good things. But Zach Bullock is making a charge and really doing some good things. Tayshawn Whitehurst is a young guy that is really making a push. With right now Sam Barrington and Michael Linares have been out a little bit, and that's really given some of these younger guys an opportunity. The other guys, we've taken a look this week hard at Gary. We've moved Gary down to linebacker just because of our lack of numbers and a couple of guys being nicked and not being out there. And I think all those young guys really they bring something to the table. They're bringing a new energy and excitement and enthusiasm to the field right now. It's fun to watch.
Gary obviously has the speed for it. How big is he in terms of weight?
He's 220 now.
Okay.
I think he's 216. I think he's about 216.
So it was like Clyde range.
Somewhere between 215 220, yes.
Right.
Do you have definitive changes, or are you still toying with things?
No, we'll have to grade today, and then we'll move the depth chart again for Sunday. Like I said, I want to take this week. This was like, I told the team, this was like spring practice. This was like fall camp. We're going to take 3 days. We're going to roll the balls out. We're going to play the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. At the end of the week, we're going to play the best players, and that's how we're going to formulate the depth chart. We've often said the depth chart is formulated on the field, not in the coaches' offices, and we're going to let them dictate who's going to play and who's not by their productivity and their effort. And some things are going to change because from what I've seen in the last 3 days, there's some guys that deserve the right to play. There's some guys that are hungry that really want to be on that field. They've shown that in the last 3 days and what they've done.
Is Trey Griffin another guy that could get in the mix, or?
Yeah, Trey has really done a nice job. He was starting to come along last week, but I think the last couple of days he's been extremely productive for us.
So then you'll grade today, you'll lock in on Sunday, and that's how you move forward for Louisville?
Exactly, and then we'll have that put together by Sunday. I'll be prepared to talk about that on Sunday night, where the depth chart is, and as we'll put out the depth chart we have for Louisville.
Is that a liberating process here, with just kind of, whoever's best plays, that sort of thing?
Well, I wouldn't say liberating. It's just very hard to do that. Once the season starts, it's hard to have tryouts, because once the season starts, you're rolling 2 teams. You're trying to get your 1s ready and your 2s ready to be backups. You're trying to make sure they're getting the reps. They're going to see what they're going to see Saturday, and you're trying to get them ready to play. It's not really time to say, okay, let's have open tryouts, rolls 1, 2s, and 3s. I mean, you're really kind of getting into your game plan. But that's been refreshing this week to get back to that, to where because there's some guys that are frustrated, and when you win, there's not a lot of guys that can argue that aren't playing when you win. But when you don't win, there's a lot of guys that feel like, Coach, I can I can help this football team. It's like, then show us. I mean, you had your opportunity in spring, you had your opportunity in fall camp. Show us now. And I think there's some guys that are showing they want to play, they want to get on that field, and there's some guys that want to keep their jobs. So I think it's been I'm not going to say liberating, but it has been a breath of fresh air to have the opportunity to do this in the middle of the season, especially what we've been through, being as close as we've been and not being able to get over that hump the last 4 weeks.